Shalom. Giving all honor, all praise, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Arachakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone I rule well. And as always, peace, blessings, and salutations to the tabernacle of David, the hopeful elect that have scattered abroad across the four winds of the earth. Now, all of a sudden, they're reporting on something Obama said in regards to so-called aliens. And they're saying that him mentioning about aliens, he's giving out classified information. And I believe this can very well be another part of the PSYOP, to distract the masses, because they've been having briefings in the White House about UAPs for years now. They've been releasing, documentation on what they call UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon, or, they might have another term for it. But this is something that, the world has been growing desensitized to, since they've been releasing and letting out information. Every now and then you'll hear old reports or testimonies where they've seen, beings, extraterrestrial. We know about that one guy, Norman Bergen, where he mentioned that he witnessed a being, and he said he described it as being tall, and he said they were black. And just the way he said it, man, you can go and search it up. Brothers then reshared it or put it in videos and lessons, but it's been known. Okay, so I don't know if they're putting this out there to distract the people even further, because there's been a lot going on since them Epstein files have been released, and then we know that they're not giving you everything, that's been done, behind the scenes in the dark. But we in the time of the revealing, right? This devil's being totally revealed. And matter of fact, let me just get a quick script. The Lord said this. This is Luke 8:17. And it says, "For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad." So a lot of things in this day and age is going to start being, discovered. And a lot of things that have been, hidden, things that have been concealed is now, it's coming out, because we're now in the information age. And it tells us in Daniel, let me get that as well. And this is all part of that covering cast. And that veil that's been spread is now being, peeled back. All right. The Lord said that he would destroy that covering cast, man. So things are going to be out in the open. All right. This devil, a lot of the things that he kept, in the dark is now being brought to light. Daniel 12 and Daniel 12:3, it says, and they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. And we're in the end now. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. And that's first and foremost through the prophets, the men that you see on the streets. All right, that's out there day in and day out every week, bringing out the wisdom, all right, uttering, wisdom in the chief place of concourse, all right. So yeah, knowledge is being increased. The Lord had revealed his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. So that's one of the major ways that, the truth is going to be brought forth and everything being exposed. All right. So what the government think they have in possession is really, nothing new to us. And we've been saying for years about the extraterrestrial beings, those vehicles. We have an explanation, and it's all in the Bible. All right, we've been telling you about the chariots, all right, the clouds, all right, the angels, which that's basically who they are. The government calls them alien, because the word alien just means stranger. Because they're not native to Earth. These are celestial beings, so they're from a different realm. But this devil can't really understand them. But they've been learning and studying their function and their abilities, and it's been terrifying these devils. So they've been documenting encounters with these vehicles, these objects, all right, the creatures that are in them, which simply you can just read the scriptures and be able to identify them. All right, we read it in Ezekiel, the first chapter. Ezekiel give, his explanation of what he saw, what he came across, or what he encountered. All right, and he goes basically in detail. Okay, so these devils, they think that they're revealing something new, but it ain't new to us. All right, and that's when you have the secrets of wisdom contained in the scriptures, and you understand all things because of the unction. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon 7. And we'll start at verse 24. It says, "For wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. For she is the breath of the power of the Most High, and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her. For she is the brightness of the everlasting light, the unspotted mirror of the power of the Most High, an image of his goodness," dealing with wisdom. "And being but one, she could do all things, and remaining in herself, she maketh all things new. And in all ages entering into holy souls, she maketh them friends of the Most High and prophets," talking about wisdom. The Lord showing these secrets and knowledge being increased. All right, but of course, the world will scorn this type of wisdom and give credit to the wisdom of this world, when the world is still trying to catch up. They're still trying to catch up. But they rather, the White House, the Pentagon, or an Edomite professor or scientist, or one of their wise men to reveal things rather than the prophets, because it tells you that also in Ecclesiastes that the poor man's wisdom is despised. It's not heard. Ecclesiastes 9:15, and it says, "Now there was found in it a slack." Let me start up. Verse 13, it says, "This wisdom have I seen also under the sun, and it seemed great unto me. There was a little city and a few men within it, and there came a great king against it and besieged it and built great bulwarks against it. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city, yet no man remembered the same poor man. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard." So they can care less if they hear it from us, even though we've been right this whole time. Okay. But it's all right though, because, more things are going to start being revealed, discovered, and certain people that came across us, they're going to remember the things that we were saying in the streets when we were looked at as crazy, all right, as extreme. What they deemed as conspiracy theories, a lot of things are being found to be true. So anyway, let's get back to this.
Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen?
Notice he got on that purple tie. Brother's been pointing this out. That purple, what are the two colors that you blend together to get purple? Red and blue. So I think, there's significance to him, wearing this color tie, and he's been seen wearing that tie on multiple occasions. All right, we're not ignorant to Satan's devices, man. All right. Basically, in other words, both the blue side and the red side, they both are working in tangent, even though they're controlled opposition. To keep you people divided up, but they were both working towards the same goal of the globalist elite. Okay? They all in it together, but they act like they're divided.
Any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51?
Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
So aliens are real.
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. He made a big mistake. He took.
Well, if they not, even though they're using the term alien, we know what it is. Trump, he trying to say everything without saying anything, but it was a reason why during his first term they created what they call the Space Force, and all these different presidents in the past, they've all mentioned about having extraterrestrial outsiders that can come and invade, or some type of outside enemy or force, like was it Ronald Reagan or Daddy Bush? One of them, they all was talking about it. And what if we were to come together to fight a common enemy or something to that effect? I gotta find that. But they've all been hinting at these beings, all right, which we know as the angels, right? Let's go to Psalm 103 and 20. And it says, "Bless the Lord, ye his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments, hearken unto the voice of his word. Bless ye the Lord, all you his host, you ministers of his that do his pleasure." And that's his angels. They all do the pleasure of the Lord. They take instruction, they take orders from the Lord. All right? Because he governs the world with the palm of his hand. So the angels are everywhere. They're all also his eyes, beholding, everything on the earth as well. Let's go from there to the next chapter. Psalms 104 and 2, it says, I'll start at 1. It says, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, O Lord Yahweh, my power. Thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty, who covers thyself with light as with a garment, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, the elements." Because the air we breathe, the air, the atmosphere, that's all part of the waters, the mayim. Okay, the word heavens means shemayim in the Hebrew. Okay, that's the elements. Okay, it says, "Who maketh the clouds his chariot." All right, And you know, they can defy the laws of physics, you know, because they can manipulate the waters. You know, they can you know shape shift. They can dematerialize. They can go down underwater. They can fly through the sun. They could do it all because they're celestial. It says, "Who walketh upon the wings of the wind, who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flaming fire, who laid the foundations of the earth, that it should not be removed forever." All right. So that's what they are. They're not aliens. Okay. Because everybody, when they hear that A word, they already have that Men in Black, you know, halo imagery in their head. You know, big headed creatures, you know, or E.T. or Alien from Alien versus Predator. You know, nah, man. The angels are they can appear like men. And the Bible, when you read Ezekiel, the first chapter, they look like so-called black men, men of color. Okay. Ezekiel said that he saw them with the face of a man. He also described them as having was it arms and feet like polished brass. You know, just like John, when he described the Lord, he said he saw his feet, and he said it was like unto color unto brass as if it burned in the furnace. So, yeah, man, you want to call them aliens? Well, hey, but you devils, I know one thing: you devils are terrified. You know, they get no nice rest when they think about that. But anyway, let's go to Psalm 68. In Psalm 68:17, it says, "The chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place." You know, so there's you know, lots of them. And just imagine when the Lord shows up with the host of heaven, and that's why it talks about how the people are going to be in fear. How the people are going to tremble, that men's hearts are going to fail them because of fear or from fear. Because the Lord's going to come back and invade, man. You know, all this, you know, military action on the earth, the war that's going to be taking place. The Lord, he going to come in, man. He wants in. He's going to invade that war. So right now, you know, they're trying to, you know, play mind games with the people.
Get out of classified information. No, I don't have an opinion on it. I never talk about it. A lot of people do. A lot of people believe it. Do you believe it, Peter?
Well, if the president can
What's with the smirk? You know what I'm saying? They're playing. They playing with these people. Let me bring it back.
that aliens are real, have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51?
Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
You know,
So aliens are real.
well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. He made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information. No, I don't have an opinion on it. I never talk about it. A lot of people do. A lot of people believe it. Do you believe it, Peter?
Well, if the president can declassify anything that he wants to, so
Well,
if
maybe
you
I'll
want to
get him
make
out
an
of trouble.
announcement.
I may get him out of trouble by declassifying.
So what is this supposed to be a game where since Obama said what he said, so now, all right, well, world, get ready for it. We finna declassify. We're gonna release the information on it now. So now we got another distraction for you all. You know, meanwhile, You know, they acting like they finna go over there and bully Iran, but notice how he keeps delaying, you know, the attack, where they keep on giving them time and time. So now another 10 to 15 days, they got to come up with an answer on what they're going to do as far as this nuclear negotiation. Because you're sending all this military over there, all these aircraft carriers. You know, you sending, you know, the USS Abraham Lincoln and all these other military craft and weapons. But you see what Iran is doing. You know, they getting themselves ready, and they got, you know, China dropping off stuff. You know, Russia dropping off stuff. They doing naval joint drills, you know, in the sea. You know, so they know this is gonna change everything. They done shut down the Straits of Hormuz, and this can ruin the economy across the globe. Gas prices skyrocketing high once again, but even worse if this war breaks out. And then, you know, so you got that happening, and then, you know, people still not stopping their talks about this whole Epstein thing and how, you know, Trump is all over that bad boy. So, you know, this is all part of the distraction, in my opinion. All right. But at the same time, you know, we already know that these things are true about these extraterrestrial beings, that they're known as the angels of the Lord. And we've been talking about them for years, starting with our elder apostles and bishops and the brothers. And it ain't no conspiracy theory. It's a fact. Okay. And, you know, more is going to, of course, be disclosed. But they know what's going on. And they, you know, all these different guys, they all been talking about this, you know, for years. All right. So, hold on.
Okay, but if there are craft, there are beings.
Okay, people have asked me about, I call them vehicles, okay?
Right.
No, I did not call them objects. That was too neuter for me.
Okay.
I had a Stanford professor said you ought to call them objects, no. They have all of the qualities of a vehicle. They can move, you know, they're just like a missile or anything like that. So that much we can say about them, for sure.
Okay.
So I'm calling it a vehicle.
Okay.
Okay, somebody comes along and says, well, now where would you manufacture one that's 2.5 Earth lengths long? And that's a hard question to answer.
So are you not positing the idea that those vehicles contain, you know, beings who are, you know, maybe like us?
Yeah, I only go along with government images. And if you want to know about people kind of thing, there is the ship that picked up the Voyager capsule at Alameda Naval Shipyard, and they have a picture there of I think it's the Apollo flight that Buzz and Neil were on. But anyway, there is one image there that shows black people getting off.
So people with dark skin getting off.
Not dark, black.
black skin.
really black.
Classic. No black. Man. Yeah, he's describing that burnished bronze or that burnished polished brass. All right. And you burn anything, it's gonna look damn near black, man. So yeah, that's what he's describing. The Bible makes it very clear about the Lord and how the angels look when they appear. All right. This is classic right here, but I had to, throw this on the back of the lesson.
Were they tall?
Yes.
Very tall? How tall? Do you know?
Well, they got up the doorway. I don't know how high that is, but
Well, what?
they say 7 feet would be probably a conservative estimate.
Have you heard about Clark McClellan's statement about that?
No,
Oh, you haven't? Have you ever been in touch with him?
no.
No?
Now watch this report right here. Now, matter of fact, before I even do that, let me get another scripture. Let's go to because they're also known as the chariots of salvation. And the scriptures tell us, when we see these things, look up, for your salvation draw nigh. That's what Yahweh Shai actually said. When you see these signs in the heavens, when you see these sights, it says to look up, for your salvation draw nigh. So these are known as the chariots of salvation, because this is how we also going to get up out of our captivity. Habakkuk 3:8, it says, was the Lord displeased against the rivers? Was thine anger against the rivers? Was thy wrath against the sea? That thou didst ride upon thine horses and thy chariots of salvation. And also, they're also known as a chariot of Israel. So that's how you know salvation is only for Israel. That's who's only going to be beamed up into the chariot on the day of the Lord, when he judges the world and saves his elect. Okay, they're going to go up into those ships, but I want to show this video before we end it. All right, this report where Jake has been keeping tabs on how there's been a lot of encounters and interaction with the chariots, how they keep showing up in, Jake's neighborhoods.
Decades, UFO and alien encounters have been reported, documented, and interpreted through a narrow cultural lens. Today's guest, Roderick Martin, is a UFO investigator and founder of Truth versus Authority. He's here to shed a little light on why these experiences are often taboo with the Black community. Welcome to the show, Roderick Martin. Hello, sir.
Well, hello. Thank you for having me here. And yes, it is a taboo subject.
Yes, it is. All right, so over the years, you've appeared on major media platforms and written a best-selling book. What pushed you beyond mainstream media into building your own independent project?
Well, I think it's a little, especially in our community, when you talk about being taboo, or we want to talk about that conversation not being had, I just figure, how can I start the conversation?
Right.
And from there, it just kind of evolved into, all right, wait a minute, we can talk about it on your YouTube channel or your podcast, but how do we kind of get people to touch and feel this and be authentic about their feelings or what they're dreaming about and all these things? And when it comes back down to the phenomena, then it's one of these conversations we don't have, because most of us, I was raised that there's nothing else up there but heaven.
Right.
And that is it. It just stops there. This mighty God that we have.
Yeah, because our people, they've been lost, or they've been coming across us, encountering us, and they just fall on deaf ears what we've been saying. We got it in our signs. We brothers be holding it up. We the main ones that'll look foolish while telling you these things. But the scriptures say our people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. And they're in gross darkness. So we in that time now. Jake gonna have to open up their eyes.
Have only created this. And so when you go through that in life and then you start being questioning everything yourself, then you go, well, who's going to do something about it?
So you describe yourself as a UFO investigator. What originally pulled you into this field?
Well, here in Dallas, I grew up here. One evening here in Oak Cliff by the Dallas Zoo. And, about this time, we out late at night. My mom flicks the porch light. That's the whole cue for all of us to come in. Everybody, moms did it.
Everybody
right?
did that,
Yeah,
yes.
But just so happened I had to walk with Shane because I was the first one that had to come in. But on my way in, I looked up and there it was. It was like this little orb zigzagging. And it was two jets following behind it.
Wow.
And I didn't realize how significant that moment would be in my life.
In Oak Cliff, of all places. I love it.
At all places,
I
yeah.
love it. All right. So at what point did you feel the conversation needed a new space?
Well, this was a time when the pandemic happened. Everybody went from visual to audio. There was a lot of audio apps out that was pretty famous at the time. And so I got on the app at the time, Clubhouse was the name of it. And all of a sudden it went from 30 people to 33,000 people.
Wow, that's a huge jump.
And then that's when the light bulb came on. Once I started having all of these conversations, I noticed there was a distinct pattern within our community, how we viewed the phenomenon. And it just kept reasserting just over and over.
Yes.
And I was like, this can't be coincidence. Coincidence is God's way of being anonymous. That's what I think. But there is none.
All right, you host a live event called C4. It's Conspiracy and Conscious Convergence Community. Why bring these conversations into physical spaces?
C4 is a platform that kind of gets the attention of Project Black. Project Black is a little more deeper after people are convinced that they do have this background that they need to search for. C4 converges the conspiracy and conscious because there's a disconnect there.
The recent passing of Daniken affected the community greatly. How did it affect you?
I think our community don't really know the significance of how he actually affected us. And real quickly, I'll get into it. He wrote the book Chariots of the Gods.
Yes, I'm familiar with that book.
All right,
Yes.
so Chariots of the Gods.
So notice that Chariots of the Gods, which, if we just speaking verbatim, the word gods, what word comes to mind? Alahayim. And one of the definitions is what? Angels. So this stuff is getting out. Let me get this in Second Esdras. It's all getting out. Because we're in that time, man. Second Esdras 6. Second Esdras 6 and 28, it says, as for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared. So the truth has to come out, man. And Jay can't say that they wasn't warned.
Was the visualization of what we see in the sky. This is before airplanes. And we didn't realize until I started studying that our ancestors, the slaves, will sing swing low, sweet chariot. They saw UFOs in the fields. And that's where that song came from, swing low.
See? And come on, man. And this is one of the main examples we've used when discussing or going into this phenomenon. For years, we've always went into this, man. So now this is reaching mainstream. These devils, they're going to play games about this, but they know the severity of this. The Lord's he's getting ready to make moves, man. And they know it. So they got to play mind games with the people. Get you people desensitized, normalize these phenomenons. And just like they're normalizing all the heinous, sick, twisted things that they're disclosing in those Epstein files. Because ain't nobody rioting about that. Ain't no heads being put on stakes. So they're going to, figure they can do the same with this. but it's not going to hold a candle to the real event when they really start to show themselves. All right, when that day comes, man, everybody on earth is going to be in fear. Okay, but hey, it's all coming out there. Okay, and who's in those vehicles? Angels, and they look like so-called black men. All right, I'm pretty sure these devils will try to tweak it and turn it into some type of science, fictional story. But we know the truth.
Sweet Chariot, come and take me home. And remember, those were 4 planes this song came out.
Right.
And that's what everyone called what they saw was chariots.
Wow. Isn't it amazing? Wow. Wow. Thank you for.
So anyway, I'm gonna end it on that, and hopefully y'all were edified. We give all honor, all praise, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Until the next lesson, Shalom.